Hey everybody, how's it going? Josh here, and today we're going to talk about Hawkeye, or I guess maybe it's appropriate now to call him Ronin, as recently when the new Avengers Endgame trailer came out, they showed him deck out in all new gear, which is a lot more reminiscent to his Ronin persona than it is to the Hawkeye persona we've seen beforehand in the MCU films and even color scheme wise in the comics. Now, the really cool thing about having Hawkeye become Ronin in this movie is because it definitely kind of sets the tone for where these characters are at in this film. I mean, it's presumed at this point that Hawkeye's family kind of went dusted when Thanos snapped his fingers. Not confirmed officially yet, I believe, but it's kind of the most obvious case scenario for why Hawkeye would be down the road he is currently as Ronin. Now, it's really interesting to me that he's not only Ronin now, but he seems to be in Japan. And according to previous set leaks and plot leaks here and there, it appears that he has a mini subplot of sorts where he's essentially attacking the Yakuza in Japan, kind of waging a war against him, like a one-man war against that organization. And that's where Black Widow ends up finding him in the film, and from there he'll eventually join back with the rest of the Avengers. And I'm assuming from how other things have appeared in promotional pieces, he will abandon the Ronin persona entirely and just jump straight back to Hawkeye. Now, the next question, of course, after kind of addressing the fact that he's no longer Hawkeye, is why, as Ronin, is he in Japan fighting all these people? Because, yeah, the Yakuza, just like in the Wolverine movie, have constantly been perceived as these bad guys in these movies, used as such. But why now? Why not fight them a movie ago, 2 movies ago, 3 movies ago? And the reason why is actually really interesting, and I think rooted in a casting report that came out while they were filming this movie with Infinity War, which not only were they looking at people of Asian descent, but they told on the casting sheet that the people have to be comfortable with prosthetics. And this actually is really interesting because a movie that comes out before Endgame is Captain Marvel, which deals a lot with the Skrulls, and those actors also had to wear prosthetics. So a big belief here is that Hawkeye or Ronin is fighting people in Japan, the Yakuza, and presumably maybe others, because he believes that they're Skrulls, or at least maybe he has insider information that the Skrulls have infiltrated this organization. Thus, maybe he believes that somewhere out there his family is not dead, but instead the Skrulls kidnapped them or something along the lines of that, which would be really actually sad because he would be in such denial that his family is dead that he's resorting to the last possible thing that could have happened, which is that an alien abducted them. Now, why the Skrulls? Well, the Skrulls are going to have a pretty key part in Captain Marvel, and honestly, I'm sure there's more to it than what we've seen so far with regards to, is it a just traditional alien invasion, whatever it is. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if at the end of the Captain Marvel movie, we get a hint here and there about the Skrulls still having activities on Earth. And it's even possible, I wouldn't be surprised, if maybe Hawkeye early on in his career was kind of put on a Skrull beat, so to speak, where Nick Fury tasked him with kind of keeping watch over all the Skrull operations on Earth. And maybe because the Skrulls are antagonists at heart, at least in the context of the MCU, and they're like these evil aliens, maybe the only way that Hawkeye feels that he can kind of vent his frustration in a somewhat productive manner is by waging his one-man war against the Skrulls as Ronin. And also, maybe he's Ronin now because he knows that, if my antics get documented on the news or anything like that, at least this way they won't reflect badly on the Avengers. I mean, that's definitely possible, but I really do truly feel that he's Ronin because while he's doing this stuff against the Skrulls, he's in this really dark case of denial. And I think they're going to use the Ronin persona just to very clearly present that, because I'm assuming they're only going to have a very limited amount of screen time in this movie that they could donate to the Hawkeye Ronin subplot. And there's really no clear way to show Hawkeye's descent. Kind of like that more show than tell type of thing. Like if you can show that he's in this place by his costume attire and stuff like that, it's probably a lot easier than if you have Hawkeye just doing this stuff and you have to explain why Hawkeye is doing this. But comment below what you guys thoughts. What do you guys think about this down below? Are you excited about seeing Ronin on the big screen? And do you think that he's hunting Skrulls? Comment below and we'll see you guys later.